Trail cams are one of the best ways to catch unexpected clips, and some of these clips are not only surprising but also very strange. Join us as we look at 15 trail camera recordings that were meant to be hidden. Number 15. Hidden trail cam captures huge predator. This strange picture was taken by a trail cam in the woods on September 21, 2017, and posted to social media by an animal page. The strange thing about the photo was that it was taken halfway while the creature was standing on two legs. The trail camera also showed that the creature's legs were covered with huge, sharp claws, giving a story about how the creature hunts. When you look at the photo more closely, the claws look like those of a bear. To prove this, here is a picture of a bear's claw. Now that we know bears can walk on 2 feet if they are hurt, the photo's mystery is solved. This claim is also backed up by the fact that the photo was posted on an animal page. This means that it must have come from one of the hidden trail cams that the animal page set up. Number 14. Buck with a bucket. This trail cam video from 2009 shows a buck carrying a bucket on its antlers. It must have been one of the funniest things to see on a trail cam. The video doesn't show how the buck got the bucket on its head and hooked in with its antlers. However, the bucket seems to fit perfectly on the buck's head. We think the buck was walking through the forest when it came across the bucket. The people who put the trail camera where this happened should be able to find the buck and help it get the bucket off its head. We know what it's like to have a bucket on your head and not be able to see what's right in front of you. This buck could fall into a river or walk right into a dangerous animal. Who knows what will happen if the bucket isn't taken off quickly? Number 13. A mysterious ghost girl was caught in the woods in 2017. The strange events took place in Cambridge, New York. Some landowners set up trail cameras all over their land. The property was surrounded by woods, so the owners also put their trail cameras in the woods. They set up these trail cameras because they planned to go hunting in the area. With the trail cameras set up, they were hoping to catch some wildlife in the area, like squirrels, deer, or even rabbits. Their hopes were quickly dashed, though, because what they saw was terrifying. Instead of catching wildlife, the trail cam caught a strange, grainy picture of a little girl. The picture was of a little girl playing in the woods, and when you get closer to the picture, you can see that the girl's face looks scary. The girl also looks like a ghost in the picture. In the same area where the photo was taken by the trail camera, there is a story about a little girl who was killed while playing on the old train tracks that ran through the woods. Also, the girl who was killed was the same age as the girl in the picture. Even though some people who have grown up near the woods say they've never heard of a ghost running and playing in the woods, paranormal experts were called in to look into the situation. They said that they had seen a lot of spiritual things going on near the picture, which would be a lot for the people who lived there to take in. Number 12. A goblin was seen in the forest. In Indonesia, some bikers were riding through a forest when they saw something. That left a mark on their minds and scared them to the bone. As they were riding, they ran into this thing, which can be seen in the video. When the creature saw the riders, it ran away. As it ran away, some riders took a video of this strange creature, while the rest just stared in shock. The animal ran away and into the bushes, and the riders followed it closely. But when they got there, they couldn't find the creature. A video of this strange find was put on the internet. As it got more attention, people started making up stories about the creature. Some people said it was a goblin, while others said it was a wild elf. Both ideas seemed to make sense, but seeing this thing in the forest was scary to begin with. Number 11. Bigfoot in the woods. Bigfoot has been a part of American and Canadian folklore for decades, if not centuries. Also called Sasquatch. People think that this animal looks like an ape and lives in the forests of North America. Since the story has been around since the early 1800s and has been told by many people, some people think that he has been seen more than once. But it's hard to believe these reports, which are just that, reports with no solid evidence to back up what they say. Even now, there is no real proof that Bigfoot exists. Now, this trail cam footage could be a piece of the mysterious Bigfoot puzzle that has been left unsolved for decades. It could also be proof that the creature is real. When the video starts, you can see a beautiful snow-covered tree. A figure comes into view after a few seconds. The trail cam caught a picture of a figure that looks like an ape. As he walks by, he doesn't notice that one of the trees has a trail camera attached to it. The figure that looked like an ape kept walking as another tree cam caught it from a different angle. It kept walking until it disappeared into the forest trees around it. Even though the video from the trail cam is a bit blurry, it could still be one of the things that proves the creature is real. Number 10. Raccoons have a reputation for being bad animals that can do bad things. They are also called trash pandas because of how silly they act. They have no fear when they want to carry out their plans, whether they are alone or with a group. Until recently, they were usually found in grassy areas of the woods, but they have recently decided to check out cities. You can't miss these animals when they poke around in trash cans to find food. They are also good at being quiet. Their clever hands let them sneak into people's homes and steal things, especially food. Because of these silly and naughty things they do, people also call them masked bandits. Some of these raccoons are in the video you're watching because a trail cam caught them. And the video shows that these animals are not afraid. In the video, it looks like the raccoons have found a good place to look for food, but the deer wants to join them. At first, there would only be 2 raccoons in the area, but a few minutes later, more raccoons would join the first 2 and start eating everything in sight. With more raccoons in sight and their numbers growing, it looked like the buck had been set up. But the buck can get them by itself, as it is strong enough to handle the raccoon's strong kicks and stomps. Also, remember that it has strong antlers. A buck's antlers can hurt a raccoon enough to kill it. But these people in masks have more than one trick up their sleeves. In the video, the buck tries to attack them to scare them. But you can be sure that these raccoons will do what their names say they will do. With each step the buck takes, the raccoon runs away, only to come back and keep eating as if nothing had happened. This makes the buck tired, but none of his steps scared the raccoons away, so they can keep eating. Number 9. A man in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, set up trail cameras in the woods near his home in 2016. He was supposed to use these trail cams to look around and see what kinds of wild animals he could find in the area. When he looked at the video after a while, he was shocked to see one of the animals that the trail cam had caught. The man looked at the clips twice because he wasn't sure he had seen what he thought he had. Because of that one piece of video, he did a double take and was sure that he had seen the right thing. Still, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. At first glance, the video makes it look like it's just a normal deer, but if you zoom in and look closely, you might find something strange. In the video, the deer has 2 noses instead of 1. The deer has a second nose that sits on top of the normal nose. This makes him look like an alien deer or a mutant deer. This made the man watch the video more than once because he didn't believe what he saw, and he showed the strange footage to his wife and family who were shocked by it. One of them even suggested that it could have been the camera that took the video and made it look like the deer's face was messed up. But when the Pennsylvania Game Commission looked at what was going on around the video, they thought that an injury might have caused this strange behavior. The commission said that the deer had a serious injury that caused its nose to be open. Aside from having different noses, the deer seems to be fine and is not showing any signs of pain. When the man and his family found this special deer, it was a big surprise to them. Number 8. White deer. Just like the deer with a unique nose, which we learned about before, other deer also have unique parts. The Seneca cynical white deer is what people call these animals. The only place you can find these deer is in Seneca County, New York, and these lovely deer have a gene that makes their bodies, noses, and hooves white. There are 2 main genetic changes that can cause these rare conditions: leucism and albinism. Leucism is the name for the phenotype that happens when pigment cells don't develop properly. To put it more simply, it means that the skin is not too dark. This stops some or all of the deer's cells from making pigment, so the deer's body coat is either all white or only partially colored. With this trail camera footage, you can see the white deer moving around the woods. Other than their color, they look and act like regular deer. Wildlife experts have found that this rare event can happen in 1.2% of deer populations in some areas. This means that out of 30,000 deer, 1 could be pure white. Deer with leucism have normal vision and dark noses, hooves, and eyes. This is different from albino deer, which have white hooves, pink eyes, and poor vision. Experts on deer have their own ideas about what's going on with the deer with leucism. These experts said that a lot of these deer are sick and are more likely to be attacked by other animals or hunters. One of these reasons is that they are easier to spot because they are white. Some of them don't even make it past their first year, which makes it even harder to see a white deer. This is also why the Seneca Army Depot is where most of these animals live. The park used to belong to the Army and be where they kept weapons and lived during World War II. Since then, the Army Depot has been turned into a refuge for the rare breed. In 2016, Seneca Park would be sold to a businessman who planned to use the area as a metalwork and fabrication plant. He bought the park with the agreement that these rare animals would be safe. But when he saw the beautiful deer in their homes, he changed his mind. At the moment, the Army Depot has been turned into a park for the environment. It is now called Deer Haven Park. Number 7. Raccoon performance. This picture from a trail cam was posted on Reddit with a comment about how the people in the picture were up to no good while wearing masks. Remember when we talked about raccoons and I said they are always getting into trouble? Well, here's another video of these animals doing what they do best. The woman made a deer feeder and put it up high so that no animals could get to it. That's what she thought. She didn't think about these mischievous creatures and what they could do. She also forgot that working together can be used to do anything. These strange creatures got together as if on cue, like a team of experienced acrobats putting on a show in a circus. These raccoons climbed perfectly on top of each other to reach the top of the feeder. They did this climb just to get the deer feeder, and they did it because they worked as a team. Number 6. Dog and deer friendship. This is the kind of story we used to read about in books, but now it's happening right in front of our eyes. In 2019, Coda, a Siberian husky, disappeared from her home in southern Manitoba, Canada. Rachel, who owned her, left her dog with the mother of her boyfriend. This is where Coda went missing for 3 days, which happened to be a few days before Christmas. Rachel was scared because she was worried about the safety of her dog. She also felt bad because she would have to spend the holidays without her dog if Coda wasn't found in time. But they found out later that Coda had gone out into the wild to learn more about nature and its gifts. Coda went back home after being missing for 3 days, but she still went missing for a few hours every day. Luckily, the son of their neighbor was a hunter. As a hunter, he had also set up a couple of trail cameras in the nearby woods. Coda was seen in the woods by these trail cams, which were set up by the neighbor's son. Everyone was surprised to see the footage from the trail cams. Coda was friendly and affectionate with a deer in the wild, as shown in the pictures, and the hunter showed them some pictures of Coda eating, sleeping, and playing with a buck. The timestamp on the trail cam photos showed that she was out in the woods with her new friend, having the best time of her life on the days she was missing. This sounds a little bit like a Jack London story. That's so cute. The owner of the Siberian Husky was completely shocked when they looked at each picture and saw what the dog had been doing during the time she had been missing. The pictures would be put on the internet, where they would get a lot of attention and love from the public, who loved every picture the trail cam took. It spread like wildfire as soon as the photos and video got a lot of likes and views on social media. Coda and the deer's friendship would surprise everyone, and I'm sure you're one of them. It was also interesting to learn that the beautiful pictures of Coda and the deer were taken by a trail camera. Number 5. Kung Fu rat. Most animals that eat other animals have a few unique traits. Before they hunt their prey in the woods, river, or desert, these predators also find ways to trick them. But not all attempts are always successful, and some may fail along the way, like this rattlesnake in this trail cam video. This footage from a trail camera shows a rattlesnake getting ready to attack its next meal. It buries itself in the sand to fool the rodent that is coming along. The desert kangaroo rat, however, was too quick to be fooled. The rodent saw the snake right away, just as it was about to strike, and it was smart enough to jump high enough to avoid the snake's poison. After about 2 seconds in the air, it landed next to the snake, but this time it was ready to fight. Before the rattlesnake could strike a second time, the kangaroo rat moved quickly and kicked the snake in the face. The kicks were so strong that they forced the snake to move back, which gave the kangaroo rat time to hop and run away from the danger zone. The trail camera shows that after the kangaroo rat got away, it did a victory dance and used its back legs to throw sand in the rattlesnake's face. What a thrill. Number 4. When a moose's velvet falls off its antlers, you might think it's hurt. But in reality, These beautiful animals are just getting rid of their old skin. During this time, they grow new horns and lose their velvets, but it doesn't hurt them as much as we think. The only problem is that the area makes them feel itchy, which might make them rub or scratch their horns on plants and bushes. The process of shedding may look scary, but the peels on the horns show that it's not that bad. Every moose has to go through this natural process. The antlers grow faster than any other part of an animal. They can grow up to 8 inches in just 9 days. When the moose's testosterone levels go up, it starts to shed. The velvet-like brown skin that covers their antlers will fall off. This makes the bones of the antlers stronger. The antler keeps getting bigger every year, and it's amazing that biologists and other researchers get to study this because of trail cams. Number 3. Strange lights were caught on film. In 2014, this video was taken. A trail camera set up in the woods took pictures of some strange lights that were hiding in the dark. On the video, there are some deer grazing near where the camera is. Suddenly, it looked like the trail camera caught strange lights in the area instead of just total darkness. In the video, you can see a deer and then a dim light that gets brighter as the video goes on. A few minutes later, the trail cam also caught some strange shapes in the night sky. When people saw the video, they thought it must have been an alien. To back up the claims, the person who set up the trail cam said that it was infrared and couldn't have made such a bright light. It also helped prove that the light was coming from a UFO. We might never know what the strange lights were. Whether or not it was a flying plane or an alien signal, the video is still very creepy. Number 2. Bear dancing. Have you ever seen a bear dance? You're about to, though. In this footage from a trail camera, you can see a bear rubbing its back on a tree. It would make you wonder if it was trying to scratch its back. Or had it eaten something strange? Nothing has been done by the bear. It's just something they do. This is how bears usually act. They don't just do this to scratch themselves, they also do it to mark their territory. They also use this to check out trees that other bears have marked to figure out where their own territories end and others begin. The process seems funny because it looks like the bear is dancing to music coming from a nearby radio or is drunk. Number 1. Leopard, looking at itself in the mirror. This trail cam video shows a leopard standing in front of a mirror in the woods and looking at itself. If you saw what the leopard saw in the mirror, you'd know it was obsessed with what it saw. The leopard put its paws on the mirror and looked at its spots and body for a long time while the trail cam caught it. But this was only true for a short time because some elephants moved into the area. When the leopard saw the elephant come with his female partner and 2 young calves, it was best for it to run away. One of the elephants looked in the mirror and saw itself, so it took off right away. It looked at itself in the mirror. Even more elephants left because none of them liked what they saw in the mirror. Use the comment section below to tell us what you think of these recordings.